seeing big investment going to the women's game. So, hopefully we can get a bit a part of that in over the next 3 to 5 years. Hopefully we can look at having full-time match officials for a full-time league, which I believe is probably one of the best in the world. Yeah, I think football's kind of moved, hasn't it, over the last probably, 8 years. VAR's come in, and I think, listen, football's evolving, isn't it? And eventually technology was always going to come in. I think, like, from a personal point of view, as a referee, I've refereed both with it and without it. If I'm honest, I preferred refereeing with it, because if I there's nothing worse than being a referee and getting in the change room at the end of the game, or being in the car on the way home and knowing you've given a decision that is you've seen back and it's deemed to be incorrect. There's nothing worse than having that feeling driving home, and probably for the next 2 or 3 days afterwards. So if we have an opportunity to put that right in a game, then I would always vote to have that. I had it in the Olympics, where we've missed a handball in the penalty area, and I'm called at the screen. It's like the last minute of the game, and I think I'm at the screen for about 30 seconds, if that. I've seen it, I'm like, yeah, it's a handball. We haven't seen it on the field. The decision's overturned, it's rectified. And actually, I can then settle with that decision and then park it and move on. And that was always better for me. So I think the game's evolving. There's more technology coming in. There's more technology coming in, across normal life. So it being a part of football, as a referee, I'd rather have it than not have it. And everyone's got a split opinion of it, haven't they? And that's the joy of football. I think when we talked first about VAR coming in, everyone said, "Oh, but there'll be no conversations about football because everything will be black and white." And I think what it's done is created more conversations about it, and more opinions, which is what football's all about. Yeah, so decided to hang up my whistle at the end of last season. So went to the Olympics and decided at the Olympics that will be my last involvement. Probably more down to just I just felt it was time that I took on a different chapter. There was an opportunity to come up with PGMOL to be part of the select group women's professional game as the manager. And listen, I come through the men's game, and I love refereeing the men's pathway, but equally I love refereeing in the women's pathway. I was involved from the start, and I always said that when I finished, I wanted to be part of that group. I wanted to help lead, help develop it, help grow it, so that we can continue to grow with the league, which is growing at rapid pace. So I'm in charge of the match officials across the Women's Super League and the Women's Championship. Goals and vision for that group. I think I come in, and first of all, I was 100 mile an hour going, I would like to change this. I would like to see that. And I've kind of took a step back a little bit and kind of looking at it all holistically. And kind of want to work with the FA to make sure that we've got a women's pathway in for refereeing, but we want to look at that and probably review it and make sure it's fit for purpose, to ensure that we get the right referees coming through, who are ready to service the professional game. Everybody always talks about professionalising match officials, and that sometimes really annoys us, because when I look at the group of match officials I work with, these guys are professional in everything they do. They've got full-time jobs, some of them are mums, and on top of that they still do a job for me in the Women's Super League and the Women's Championship. I think full-time match officials will come eventually. It's something that we will be discussing with the league. Along with that, though, comes in investment, big investment. We've seen big investment going to the women's game. So, hopefully we can get a bit a part of that in over the next 3 to 5 years. Hopefully we can look at having full-time match officials for a full-time league, which I believe is probably one of the best in the world. To be honest, I would like them to take away, especially ones who are football fans, to take away kind of the idea of the pressure that is put on referees and the scrutiny that's put on referees. We go to football matches and we expect goalkeepers not to save every shot. We expect strikers not to score every shot they have in during the 90 minutes. But we're very unforgiving if the referee is not 100% correct. And I think sometimes we need to have a platform where we can tell our story and get people to realise how difficult it is. It's interesting because when I go in and do some sessions with schools and different clubs and academies, and you get them to be the referee, it's funny how the mindset changes quite quickly. So probably just want to have them, just get them a realization of how difficult the job is, both on and off the field. But we kind of want to humanize referee, and I think a lot of people see us as robots, and you want to kind of get people to know that this is me, the person, and this is my views, and this is who I am. And yeah, a part of me is a match official, or was a match official, but that doesn't define who I am. So yeah, probably just humanising refereeing a little bit more.